Hello, scholars. I'm Crystal Campbell. I am so excited to be here and reading for you today. I am from Flint, Michigan, which is a town about 45 minutes away from here. I went to Daly Elementary School, I went to Dolan Middle School, and I graduated from Beecher High School, home of the mighty Marching Bucks. I came here to Ypsilanti to go to Eastern Michigan University, where I studied communication. So I have both a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in communication. And it's wonderful. It's so flexible. It allows me to talk to people and meet people. It allows me to write creatively. And it allows me to be out and network in community. And learning about communication is what brought me here to read to you all today. I'm also a mother. I have a son who we call Young Wonder. He's 9, and I have a daughter who is 5. We call her Hurricane Chris. Both of my children, they're in 4th grade and kindergarten, and they also love to read. And do you know why? Because I read to them. I read to them every single day. Things that I enjoy doing. I'm a reader. I will read everything. Coupons, billboards, magazines, newspapers, books, and I have recently discovered the magic of audiobooks. It's like listening to a movie. It's amazing, and you can do it while you do other things, like your chores at home, or washing the dishes, or cooking dinner, or driving in your car. All things that I also have to do because I'm a mom and worker. But now I get to do those things and listen to amazing stories that take me to far off worlds and help me meet new people in the characters that the authors develop. I am so excited and so honored to be here with you this evening, and I'm really looking forward to reading our stories together. All the Things We're For by Inosanto Nagara. When you go to a march and raise your sign high, you'll make people smile who thought you were shy. And you'll make people wonder, does that kid really know why? You do know, of course. That's why you are there. You're there to say no, because you do care. You're there to say, stop. What's happening's not fair. We can't keep doing what we're doing in the way it's been done. We can't keep using it, moving it, running it how it's been run. Standing together, that's how change can be won. So yes, you do know what's up and why you are there. But that's not the big question, at least not for me. It's not folks who don't know or just disagree. It's folks who want to be with us, but feel that they simply can't see. Folks who say, we want to resist. We're on the same page. Our problems are serious. That's easy to see. Destruction must stop. We can't let it be. Stop polluting and poisoning and cheating and stealing. No one likes dictators or violence or kids going hungry. In poverty, stop war. But okay, then what are you for? Oh, what are we for? That is my favorite question. And I'm sure it's yours too, because you pay attention. You have so many answers and so many options and so many solutions that you want to impart. The only hard question is, where does one start? Look at all the signs in the violence. No justice, no peace. Break the silence. No ban, no wall. End apartheid. I remember that. Boycott. No war. No kids in cages. End the occupation. No blood for oil. So many causes, right? We have to start somewhere, so let's take a pick. Take something we all do. We all get sick. We get wheezy and sneezy and snuffly noses. We get headaches and stomach aches and sometimes throw up. So we sip some hot soup and we get a good rest. And soon we feel better and back to our best. But sometimes being sick is harder than that. The nurses may say we need more than just rest. The doctors may want to give us a test. Perhaps they'll tell us to get an x-ray. It may even mean a hospital stay. And when there's a virus that starts to run wild, more people get sicker, though some cases are mild. But so many sickies mean so many meds and not enough nurses and not enough beds. And we know that's exactly what's happening right now with our pandemic, isn't it? Some people will only get sick a little bit. Some people will get very sick. But then we are asked, who's going to pay? Sadly, the answer is pretty not funny. When companies decide to make all their money, deciding who gets cared for and who does not, depending on cash you put in their pot. So if you have means, you get care that you need. But if you don't, well, you're in trouble indeed. So here's an idea that we can all share. We all do our part and put in what's fair. And when we need it, we have access to care. So health care for all is a thing that we're for. Should I go on? Continue this tour? No problem, for sure. And that says health care for all. It's a pretty good place to start. We all know now that the climates are changing. The earth is a-warming and the sea level's rising. The ice shelves are melting, which is not all surprising, since science was warning that the globe will keep warming if we keep burning the stuff that we've been burning. But is there an answer? Some people may ask. Why, yes, you say, if we're up to the task. Look up, you exclaim. What do you see? A huge ball of plasma, clean energy for free. So instead of drilling and spilling, and let's be honest, even killing, for dirty dead dino goop that should stay in the ground, let's embrace the sun and wind and earth. Nature's power will always abound. If anyone's still not sure what you mean, what we can change so our future is green, well, it starts with committing to making it real, working together to seal a new deal. So wind power that comes from windmills, and solar, meaning sun power, using solar panels. Wow, they say. Universal health care, they say. Solar energy. Such big things for a kid. Okay, that's cool. But shouldn't you be focused on kid things like play dates in school? School and play? Why, yes. On that, you have much to say. We learn more with more recess and time to eat lunch. Much smaller classes when we can't learn in a crunch. If we memorize and drill and are taught to be tested, real thinking does not get invested. Critical minds can't flourish that way. And speaking of teaching, our teachers need much better pay. Here. I'm here for that. So, enough time to eat lunch, more time at recess, smaller classrooms, and pay our teachers. I think that's a good thing to be for. We need schools that are safe. We need freedom to range. We need libraries and sports. We need cultural exchange. We need music and arts to fill our brains and our hearts. We should be seen as whole people with many different kinds of smarts. There are so many reasons upon which we can call for a free and fair and public education for all. Did you see something that you're interested in? Sports or libraries or art or music? It should be available to everyone, and it should be available for free. But let's get more personal. Let's talk about we. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about us and the many, many ways we can be. Let's celebrate the splendor of spectrums of gender. Let's recognize and value the many hues of our skin, the many languages we speak, our many lands of origin, to whom we may pray, with whom one shares love, the diverse ways our minds work, our bodies we're proud of, those who've always been here, on whose lands we now tread, those who dare speak up, those who act quietly instead. But let's also be clear that harm has been done. Futures were stolen by sword and by gun. We can't flip a switch and say that we're here. A history of injustice takes more to repair. To balance the scales, we must reclaim what they stole and do the hard work to make us all whole. This page is exactly the work that I do with the degree that I got in communication. I work in racial equity so that we can repair the injustice of history, balance the scales, and do the hard work to make all of us whole. Making us whole, that's really a theme. It's not as difficult as it may seem. Lock them up, they say. Throw away the key. That's the quick fix that some want to see. But let's take a moment and take a close look. Who gets locked up? Where? How and why? You'll see there's a problem that one can't deny. A pattern of how the judgments we face are different for each based on money and race. And even if things were quote unquote fair, and those doing time quote unquote deserve to be there, is putting humans in cages the best we can do? In 10,000 years, have we learned nothing new? We have, of course, and that's the good news. There are much better options from which we can choose. Lift up the idea that we dispose of no one. We're each of us more than our worst act. There's no panacea and work must be done. Liberation's for us all, or else it's for none. Speaking of work, we've got ideas there too. Things we can change and things we can do. So many people work hard for their pay, but hardly make ends meet at the end of the day. And as if just working wasn't hard enough, they're all alone when the going gets rough. There are so many ways that these things can be tough. We don't even have room to list all of that stuff. Yeah, we don't have enough pages in the book. But suffice it to say, there is many a way where workers have rights and workers have sway, where we work with each other in unions that as one, or better yet, in co-ops for fairness and fun. When our rights come under attack, we will know who's got our back. Okay, I know this is a lot, but hey, they asked, so they get what you got. They open the door for solutions galore. And when they ask you, what are you for? Maybe they hoped for something lighthearted, but you, my friend, are just getting started. So as you can see, there's so much to be done, much to be fixed, and much to be run. But having to do stuff isn't so bad. Let's roll up our sleeves and let's do something rad. And you see all these children with their fists up. They look just like Rosie the Riveter. And Rosie the Riveter is a woman who was living in Ypsilanti and in Ypsilanti Township a long time ago, like when your grandparents were alive, and they worked in factories. Rosie the Riveter works in factories, and they worked on airplanes to help America. We don't really want to have to talk about the war, but to help America in a war. A lot of times you'll see Rosie and she has pale skin and red lips and a red bandana on her head. But there were women who were Rosies who spanned every spectrum, just like this picture, every skin tone, every different kind of woman. And she was a symbol for strength and a symbol for progress, just like all these children are, just like you are too. Let's shout out solutions from sea to sea. Let's yell out our favorites. I hope you'll join me. Public art or open spaces. What are yours? What are your solutions? What do you think we can do to help solve some of the world's problems? To you, these ideas are never a bore. You've already shared many and have many, oh so many more. When you care for the world as much as you do, Creating solutions is oh so you. Of course, not all solutions are the best they can be, and on some things we may disagree. But it all starts with caring and agreeing to sharing, a radical act if we are daring. But this is all stuff that you already know. You're ready to go. You're ready to soar. You're ready to start. You're ready to roar. So off, now let's go. Let us start working. Let us start building the future we're for.